Welcome to Inside British Royals. This is your exclusive look inside the world's most famous family. We are exploring the scandals, secrets, and power plays that define the modern monarchy. If you are new here, please do well to hit that subscribe button for more updates. As the world watched the wedding of the century, one woman, a duchess and mother to the groom's own cousins, was pointedly left off the guest list. This is the story of Sarah Ferguson's brutal snub from William and Kate's 2011 wedding, a rejection so public it left her feeling utterly worthless. But what was the real reason she was banned, and how did she claw her way back from the ultimate royal humiliation? This isn't just a story about a party invitation. It's a story about scandal, shame, and the lonely existence of a royal outcast fighting for a place in the world's most famous family. Stay with us as we uncover the secrets behind the headlines, the private pain behind the public smile, and the long, arduous road to redemption for the woman they once called Fergie. To understand the wound inflicted in 2011, you have to go back to a time when Sarah Ferguson was the monarchy's newest, brightest star. When she married Prince Andrew at Westminster Abbey in the summer of 1986, the world was captivated. With her fiery red hair and down-to-earth personality, she was hailed as a breath of fresh air against the stiff formality of the House of Windsor. The media and the public adored her. She was fun, relatable, and alongside Princess Diana, she seemed to represent a more modern, human face of the monarchy. But the fairy tale quickly soured. The pressures of royal life were immense, and the media's love affair turned into relentless, cruel scrutiny. She was a working mother in an institution that seemed to barely comprehend the concept, seeing her naval officer husband for just 40 days a year in their early marriage. The press, once allies, began to attack her, criticizing her weight, her clothes, and her personality. Nicknames like the Duchess of York became common, corrosive headlines that deeply damaged her self-esteem. The real turning point, the moment that truly shattered her royal standing, came in 1992. Just months after her separation from Prince Andrew was announced, the Duchess was photographed on holiday in St. Tropez. Paparazzi using long-range lenses captured images that would send shockwaves through the monarchy. Her American financial advisor, John Bryan, kissing her foot while she sunbathed topless. The toe-sucking photos were more than a private embarrassment. They were a public humiliation of the highest order. The royal family, at Balmoral when the papers came out, was reportedly horrified. Years later, it was reported that Princess Margaret, the Queen's sister, sent Fergie a scathing letter after receiving flowers from her, declaring, "You have done more to bring shame on the family than could ever have been imagined." This was the point of no return. Though she and Andrew divorced in 1996, they remained incredibly close, living together for years to raise their daughters, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. But within the formal institution, Fergie was persona non grata. She was stripped of her Royal Highness title and cast out, left to forge her own path and, crucially, earn her own living. Financial desperation became a recurring, disastrous theme, leading to the second scandal that sealed her wedding exclusion. In 2010, an undercover reporter from the News of the World caught her on camera promising to sell access to her ex-husband, Prince Andrew. In the damning video, Ferguson was seen accepting a cash deposit worth around $40,000 as part of a deal for £500,000. Her words would haunt her for years. "Look after me, and he'll look after you. You'll get it back tenfold." The fallout was catastrophic. She was, in her own words, devastated and publicly apologized, explaining she was in a dire financial situation. But the damage was done. She'd been caught trying to monetize her royal proximity, confirming the palace's worst fears. With the wedding of a future king on the horizon, her presence was deemed an unacceptable risk. The cash for access scandal was the final nail in the coffin. April 29, 2011. The world's eyes were on Westminster Abbey as Prince William married Catherine Middleton. The guest list was a who's who of global royalty and dignitaries. The entire royal family was there: the Queen, Prince Philip, Prince Charles, and Prince Harry. Her ex-husband, Prince Andrew, was there, and most painfully, her own daughters, Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie were there. But their mother, Sarah Ferguson, was conspicuously absent. While her daughters walked into the abbey, Ferguson was half a world away in a remote jungle retreat in Thailand. She chose to escape, putting as much distance as possible between herself and the humiliation unfolding in London. This wasn't just a quiet omission, it was a loud, public statement. In a raw interview with Oprah Winfrey shortly after, Ferguson laid bare the profound hurt it caused. It was so difficult, she confessed. The pain wasn't about missing a party. It was about being shut out of a core family moment. I wanted to be there with my girls, to be getting them dressed, and to go as a family. Adding to her pain was a historical echo. It was also hard because the last bride up that aisle was me, she told Oprah, recalling her own 1986 wedding in that very abbey. Prince Andrew, ever her friend, called her from London that morning. He tried to comfort her, saying, "It's okay. Just remember we had such a good day. Our wedding was so perfect." His words, she said, offered a small kindness in the face of a crushing rejection, but it couldn't erase the feeling of worthlessness the snub had ignited. She admitted to Oprah that part of her felt the exclusion was deserved. "I went through the phase of feeling so totally worthless and that it was quite right they didn't invite me," she explained. Why would they? Why would they invite me? The decision to exclude her was reportedly driven by senior royals. Prince Philip was known to have never forgiven her for the scandals of the 1990s, and sources claimed Prince Charles didn't have time for her and did not think she belonged at his son's wedding. From the palace's perspective, the first significant thaw came from an unexpected source, Prince Harry. For his 2018 wedding to Meghan Markle, Harry was reportedly insistent that his aunt be invited to the ceremony. Unlike his brother's wedding, where the institution's image took precedence, Harry's personal loyalty won out. The gesture was reportedly supported by Queen Elizabeth II, who, according to Sarah, had an inclusive nature. On the day of Harry and Meghan's wedding, the world watched as Sarah Ferguson arrived at St. George's Chapel. As she walked toward the chapel, the crowd erupted in cheers, a welcome that visibly moved her. "I wanted to cry," she said of the reaction. Then someone shouted Fergie, and it was the old Fergie back. In that moment, she also thought of her late friend, Princess Diana, saying, "I felt really happy for my friend Diana, who I love." The invitation was a sign of acceptance after years of being left out in the cold. However, the reintegration wasn't total. She was reportedly not invited to the more intimate evening reception hosted by Prince Charles, who sources again suggested simply doesn't have time for her. It was a signal that while one generation was willing to forgive, another still held reservations. Despite this, her public reemergence continued. Later that year, she took a proud, central role as mother of the bride at Princess Eugenie's wedding. Her connection with the late queen also remained a comfort. After the monarch's passing in 2022, Sarah and Andrew took in her beloved corgis, a symbol of an enduring personal bond. However, her journey remains perilous. Prince Andrew's association with Jeffrey Epstein has cast a long, dark shadow. Ferguson's own past links to Epstein, including admitting she accepted £15,000 from him to settle debts, have resurfaced. Fresh revelations in late 2025 and early 2026, including emails where she referred to Epstein as a supreme friend, led to charities cutting ties with her. Amid reports that several of her businesses had become dormant and she and Andrew were being evicted from Royal Lodge, she has kept a low profile, reportedly traveling to escape the pressure. Sarah Ferguson's story is a tumultuous epic of royal life, marked by dizzying heights and devastating lows. The snub from William and Kate's wedding was the agonizing climax of a long fall from grace, a moment that crystallized her status as an outcast and left her feeling worthless. Her journey since has been a slow climb back. The invitation to Prince Harry's wedding was a pivotal moment of redemption, a sign that personal loyalty could triumph over institutional rigidity. Yet, her path remains precarious. The shadows of past scandals, both her own and her ex-husband's, constantly threaten to pull her back into the darkness. She exists in a state of royal limbo, no longer an official member of the firm, yet forever tied to it by her children and her history. Her life has been a relentless battle against public judgment, financial ruin, and her own demons. From the breath of fresh air who charmed a nation to the outcast who watched her family celebrate without her, Sarah Ferguson's story is a compelling saga of resilience. A woman who, despite being repeatedly shunned, has refused to be completely erased. What do you think about Sarah Ferguson's journey? Was the royal family right to exclude her, or should family always come first? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And for more deep dives into the untold stories of the royal family, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.